What would you do if you were 13, 14, or 15 years old and suddenly found yourself stranded on a remote island with no way home? Today I'm going to tell you the true story of 6 Tongan teenagers who set off on what they thought would be a short adventure, but ended up shipwrecked on a deserted island for 15 months. This isn't fiction. This isn't a movie script. This really happened in 1965. What they endured and how they survived will challenge everything you think you know about human nature, friendship, and survival. By the end of this video, you'll understand how a simple decision changed their lives forever, survival skills they developed with no adult's dramatic discovery that shocked the world. So keep watching, because this story takes a shocking turn you won't see coming. It was June 1965 in the South Pacific Kingdom of Tonga, a cluster of islands thousands of miles from anywhere. 6 teenage boys, Sean Fadawa, Stephen Tevita Fatuilatu, Tevita Siola David, Kolo Fekatoa, Mono Sean Philippe Detau, and Luke Vekoso, were students at a strict boarding school in Nuku'alofa, bored with school life, and dreaming of something bigger, something exciting. They made a decision that would change their lives forever. They stole a 24-foot fishing boat one night and set sail into the open Pacific Ocean. Their plan, at least in their minds, was simple. They would sail to Fiji, or maybe even New Zealand, and live a life of freedom, but they had no map, no compass, no real plan. Within hours, everything went wrong. That very first night, a violent storm hit. The wind ripped their sail to shreds. The rudder broke. In an instant, they were adrift on the open ocean with no way to steer. For 8 days, they were thrown around by wind and wave, with almost no food and very little water. They tried catching rainwater and coconut shells. They fished when they could, but hope was fading fast. At one point, the boys believed they might die at sea, but fate had a different plan. After more than a week adrift, they spotted land, a rocky island most maps ignored, Ata, a remote and uninhabited speck in the Pacific Ocean. They made the harrowing decision to abandon their damaged boat and swim to shore, dragging planks for flotation. Many were bruised, cut, exhausted, but they made it. Once on land, paradise didn't greet them. There was no civilization or rescue in sight, no promise of supply drops. This island was wild, harsh, unforgiving. At first, survival was sheer struggle. They had no Fareno sheltered spot, no cooking tools for water. They used rain and whatever they could find. When food was scarce, they resorted to things most of us could never imagine, like drinking seabird blood to survive. Over time, they learned how to hunt and fish out to collect rainwater, how to make shelter from palm fronds, to support each other emotionally. They created roles, worked as a team, and kept their spirits up by praying and singing together. And like the brutal chaos of Lord of the Flies, a book you might know, these boys didn't descend into violence or anarchy. They cooperated, uplifted one another, and endured. Life wasn't always smooth. After months on the island, one of the boys fell off a cliff and broke his leg. Without doctors, without medicine, his friends had to improvise, using traditional knowledge, sea water rinses, and constant care until his leg healed. They also tried escaping again, building a raft and setting sail, but nature struck again and their plan failed. Meanwhile, back home in Tonga, months turned into a year. Friends and families believed the boys were dead. Many held funerals. No one knew they were still alive. Finally, after 15 months alone on Ata, something remarkable happened. An Australian sailor named Peter Warner was passing near the island when he saw strange black smudges, smoke, rising from the cliffs. Curious, he steered closer. Then he saw them. At first glance, they looked like wild figures, long hair, naked bodies, eyes filled with life and surprise. As he approached, one called out in clear English, "My name is Stephen. There are 6 of us, and we reckon we've been here 15 months. Warner didn't believe it at first, until he confirmed their names by radio with authorities back in Tonga. Their families were stunned. Funerals had already been held. When they returned home, they weren't greeted as heroes immediately. They were briefly arrested because the boat they took had been stolen. But Warner intervened, paid for the damages, and helped secure their release. They went from being lost and presumed dead to becoming symbols of resilience and teamwork. Their story challenges the idea that humans always turn on each other in crises, instead showing that cooperation, culture, and shared purpose can overcome almost anything. So here's the question for you. If you were in their place, stranded, alone, no adults, could you survive? What would you build? Who would you become? Comment below with your answer.